a 2017 Lexus GSF. That is the F specifically. Keep in mind, this is a 5-liter, naturally aspirated, 467 horsepower V8. Makes 389 pound-feet of torque. It has Michelin Pilot Super Sports, actual track tires. You can take this on the track right out of the bat, right as you buy it. The point is, all these cars, the M5 from BMW, the M3, some have a lot more horsepower. The E63S, which is a direct competitor to the Lexus GSF, has close to 600 horsepower. The M5 has also 600 horsepower. They both have all-wheel drive now. This car, with only 467 horsepower, this is basically all you can use on the street. If you're one of those people who's really rich and wants to buy a car that's this expensive, $85,000, $87,000, this is the right choice. It has reliable engineering, everything from Lexus that you always come to expect. Materials, fit and finish, and quality. Now, this does have the orange calipers. That's an extra option. For this price, the only couple of options that are involved are the torque vectoring differential that Lexus has between the rear wheels, just distributes power up to 1,000 times per second is what Lexus claims. Also, this is rear wheel drive only. And the only other option for that price range, just so you don't spend too much money on a car that's already so expensive, is the Mark Levinson system. Navigation is standard and Pioneer Premium Audio is standard. But if you want that little extra, punch in the sound system, then the surround sound from Mark Levinson is definitely worth it. Alright, so here is the 5.0-liter V8, naturally aspirated. It's got that cool carbon fiber cover on it. V8 was so awesome, and that paint job did it for F Sport with the blue, valve paint over the cylinder. It was really cool. And this Matador Red Mica actually looks pretty cool. I mean, with the black interior, it looks very sporty. And with the certain black or gray accents in this car just looks so mean out on the road. And it pulls so, you get pushed back in your seat. And obviously that's also due to the naturally aspirated V8. It's not turbocharged, so there's really not any turbo lag at all. On top of that, the other really awesome thing about this car is that it is rear wheel drive, so you get that immediate push straight to the rear wheels, and there's absolutely no motor connected to the front wheels. And what else? This is a real air intake right here. This is to cool off the brakes for when you're on the track. Basically, over here, this is really cool. It comes through here, then it goes in and cools the brakes. It's really awesome. Alright, so a lot of on the videos on YouTube, the reason why I'm so surprised with this car even more, I was already surprised with the LC500, because that is truly an exceptional car. But the really interesting thing about this is that so many people hate on Lexus for no reason, that they can never achieve performance. But that F badge is really not for this show, because a 5-liter V8, 467 horsepower, a torque vectoring differential, 8-speed automatic with sport direct shift transmission. The shifts are very quick considering it's an automatic, it's not a dual clutch. It's just so surprising because a lot of the people on YouTube are like, oh, it's so ugly, it doesn't drive as good as a BMW, oh, it's just so bad on the track. It's not. It goes crazy out on the road. I was stuck to my seat when we were going in this, what is going on? It was just such a contrast between what people like to say about a car versus what they've actually done. If you look at a lot of people commenting on YouTube, or this car isn't as good as my E63 or as my M5, you should really reply and ask them, have you driven a GSF? Because this car is truly exceptional. But this is the same engine as the LC500, but it's slightly detuned. It has 4 less horsepower and I think 9 less pound-feet of torque. But the LC500 is a GT car, so I could really feel it even in the steering wheel. The steering wheel is a lot softer than this. It's still EPS, but GSF steering wheel, it's very stiff compared to it, and they purposely made it that way. It feels like such a pure performance car. They added that ASC so you don't feel left out on the engine and exhaust note because of the sound deadening from the windows. So because it's still basically a luxury car, but it's a sports sedan. It's a luxury sports sedan. Lexus does that amazing. They combine both of them so well. and it's just very thought out the way they made this car in all detail. Then for the back seat, this is set to my dad's position right here, and he's like 6'2". So before we hop into the back seat, let me show you over here. This is all soft touch material. While I would really enjoy like some nice stitching over here, this is soft touch, this is carbon fiber, this is soft touch, this is Alcantara soft touch, this is soft touch. That's a little bit of plastic, but it is still velvet type material inside. Mark Levinson speaker, and this is all soft touch too. That's what's really awesome. Like, they didn't go out with like cheap materials in order to save weight. It's really truly just a performance car while still not, you know, barging into your amenities that you want from an $85,000 luxury car. So in the back, I'm about 6 feet and I'm sitting fine, and the reason being is because this is less room than our current family car, which is the ES350. That's what, when it was based on the Camry's chassis back in 2009. It has great legroom, but I don't fit in it as comfortable as this car, and the reason being is because this, like, the bucket seats are pointed this way, so right where my knees are, and for anybody shorter or maybe a little bit taller up to here, can fit in this car fine. It's not a problem at all. It's awesome. You got a little carbon fiber insert over here by the vents. Then if we pull this thing down, you got your armrest, opens up, you know. This is an all GSs, which is the good thing. It's not something exclusive like some different type of armrest or anything. So basically this car is a GS, like a normal GS 200T, just with 4 more cylinders, and it's just on steroids. Like, it's on fundamentally the same car. Even if you buy a GS 200T and you're one of those people who could buy a GSF but you do not take your car to the track, then that is another car that's absolutely spectacular. That's the only GS model currently with a turbocharger. It's an inline 4-cylinder, 241 horsepower, but I was like blown away. I thought that maybe all that majority was right, that this car isn't as like crazy good as the M5 or E63. My personal favorite company still currently is kind of the BMW, but you know, Lexus is what kind of runs in my family. So Lexus is something I'm very close to. The M3 would be my favorite car, and a little bit in the middle, like a couple of years, maybe it was like a year ago, when I sat in this car for the first time, I was kind of blown away by this car. It has about the same price as the M3, coming down with options in that car, and this car, it's about the same. This car has a higher base price. It has like a 82,000, 85,000. The M3 starts at like 65,000, but all those packages included, it's kind of the same thing, maybe a little bit more features like some assistance or bird's eye view or something, because you know, BMW loves technology. But the overall package in this is so good. The competitor for this car is the M5, and I would totally 100% go with this car over that. The reason being is because that's too much horsepower. You're not going to be able to use that on the road, and the all-wheel drive kind of takes a little bit of the fun away, and it increases the weight of the car. This is obviously a heavy car, but since it's only powering 2 wheels, that's really awesome about it, that it can handle tracks just like those German cars, which is really awesome. That's something I wanted to say. So I particularly enjoyed like having this car out here to check out, because I've always wanted to do a review. It's been like a year since I've been wanting to do a review on this one, to see maybe if this is like the perfect car. So yeah, now let's go ahead and drive it. So currently the torque vectoring differential setting is on track, so this is really for those tight corners. For these types of roads, we can also put it to slalom, so maybe we'll try that instead. There we go, slalom is on. The turn. Inside, but the ride is surprisingly comfortable. I mean, it is bumpy and you do feel in your seat like all those little bumps, but it's a good thing. This is truly a driver's car. So good, very comfortable, and
build quality, seats, steering feel is unbelievable. Beautiful. I really love driving this car. Beautiful engine noise and everything, and it runs amazing. Really enjoy riding this car.
The paddle shift response is so quick for an automatic. This is absolutely amazing. Chassis is amazing. Like, you get stuck to your seat and you don't even move around. The bowstring is so strong. Compare any other engine sound with a V8. Even if it's more cylinders, there's something about that V8 rumble that really makes a performance car awesome. Wow.
I really enjoy, driving this car. Totally recommended. Beautiful car. Very powerful engine and amazing sound. This is unbelievable. Thanks for watching.
Alright, thank you so much to Art Cool at McGrath Lexus of Westmont over here in the Chicagoland area. If you want to come buy this particular car, it's absolutely available for sale. It's a certified 6,800 miles, I think, on it. It's very good condition. It drives basically like new, and it's just awesome. So that's all I have to say about that. And it's an awesome car overall. Go ahead and check this out. Makes 389 pound-feet of torque.